Time is money, and you're spending both, said Sally, a waitress at the roadside diner. She faced a difficult choice when a worried elderly woman approached her. Sally decided to help her. After her kind act, she faced the manager's anger until an unexpected turn changed everything. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tales Unveiled. Today, I am excited to share a new story with you. Let's begin. The unmistakable sound of a heavy, slightly rusty door creaking open marked the start of another workday at the famous roadside diner. This establishment had served as a haven for weary travelers on that stretch of highway for decades. Among the shelves with snacks, essentials, and souvenirs for truck drivers, Sally moved with the light grace of an experienced waitress. Although she had only worked here for a few months, she had already won the hearts of regular visitors, mostly long-haul truckers. Tom with his bad jokes, Bill with stories about his grandchildren, and many others found comfort in her company on the road. Mr. Peters, the owner of the diner, was a tough man with hands like sandpaper. But beneath that tough exterior hid a kind soul who cared about his establishment and the people. In a worn baseball cap, he founded this place. Starting with a pie kiosk many years ago, the walls were decorated with photos of regular visitors who became friends. But lately, tension appeared on his face. Worry lines deepened on his tanned face. This morning, Mr. Peters gathered the staff. He made an important announcement and was not alone. Next to him stood a young man with a proud posture and a challenging look. Hello, everyone. This won't take long, Mr. Peters began, his voice sounding with the wisdom of many years of experience. I have long postponed my retirement. The time has come to pass the baton. The employees exchanged surprised glances, not knowing what to expect. From today, he continued with a smile mixed with slight nostalgia, my nephew Mark will be in charge. I am fully confident in Mark's ability to manage this restaurant with the same dedication and passion as I do. Mark, who recently graduated from the City Business University, could not hide a triumphant smile on his lips. I will still be around, Mr. Peters said, placing his hand on Mark's shoulder, ready to support the new manager. On his nephew's shoulder rested a gesture of trust and affection, promising guidance and support whenever needed. From now on, reports would be addressed to him. His absence from daily life at the diner would certainly be felt. However, time brings inevitable changes. It was time for a new phase in the diner's history. All eyes now turned to Mark, the new manager, hoping he could honor his uncle's legacy in running the diner. As Mark took over, it became clear that his values differed significantly from his uncle's. The diner had always been a haven for truckers. Truckers felt welcomed and valued here, but Mark viewed things more pragmatically. For him, it was all about customer flow and efficient service. Sally kept biting her tongue, wondering if the sleek new touchscreen Mark installed really made Tom's coffee arrive any faster. Many old truck drivers like to tell Sally about their lives while waiting for refueling. They complain about long routes and breakdowns, or seek human communication on the road. Sally always listened to them attentively, seeing in their tired eyes the need for a caring and attentive listener. She felt it was wrong to reject them without a word. Sally, we need to talk, Mark announced, strictly and businesslike. She entered the office. He did not pay attention to her, staring at the computer screen. Older drivers who frequented the diner stopped not only for fuel and food, but also for friendly conversation. Now, their treatment was rushed and impersonal. For Mark, every minute spent on unnecessary conversation meant lost time and lost profits. The warm, familiar environment had begun to fade. "I'll be brief," he began without preamble. "Your performance is the worst in the team, and your service time is significantly longer despite my advice to work faster. You keep wasting time on pointless conversations with clients," he continued. Sally tried to explain that every client has their own story. Mark interrupted her sharply, saying, "I'm not interested in their stories. This is your final warning. If I see you wasting time on empty talks, you're fired." Sally left the meeting feeling helpless and confused, not knowing how to maintain humanity in a job that demands speed and efficiency. She had a special reason to listen to these stories, vividly remembering the years spent with her grandfather, a truck driver who died several years ago. One day, a stranger truck driver in a cafe warned the grandfather about the early signs of diabetes. This simple interaction changed a lot. Thanks to this, the grandfather got checked. The disease was detected early, the treatment was effective, and the quality of life improved significantly. Now Sally was the person who could help others, just as the stranger helped her grandfather. Sally faced a serious dilemma: to follow her beliefs or obey Mark's orders. The day was especially busy when an elderly woman approached the cafe, looking worried and confused. "Dear, could you help me with this tire pressure gauge?" she asked, rummaging through her purse. "I'm a bit confused. Usually my son buys this, but he's on a long trip, and I forgot to tell him that the tires are deflating." There was a small corner in the cafe with auto parts needed for urgent repairs. As Sally drove, she felt Mark staring intently at her. The pressure to be efficient hung in the air. But the elderly woman's need was more important than the fear of punishment. The woman continued, "You know, madam, I'm a regular customer here, but since my son usually handles things, I don't recognize you. Is Mr. Peters still running this place? I was good friends with his wife," she said hopefully. Sally explained that Mr. Peters had retired. Mark was approaching, and his frowning face was becoming more noticeable. When they reached the appliance section, the woman began frantically rummaging through her purse. "It seems I forgot my wallet at home," she said, her voice trembling with excitement and embarrassment. "Looks like I won't be able to pay for this today," she sighed, feeling the seriousness of the situation. Sally understood that the woman most likely depended on the correct tire pressure for a safe trip. "I have an idea," said Sally, with a warm smile returning to her face. "Don't worry today. The device is on us," she said, easing the tension and helping the woman. "I'll make sure one of the guys checks your tires before you leave," he said. The woman's face lit up with a smile. "Oh dear, how sweet of you. As soon as I see Mr. Peters, I'll tell him what a wonderful employee he has," she said, with a grateful wave as she left the diner. She carried not only the necessary pressure gauge, but also the memory of a compassionate heart. Soon Mark appeared with a stern expression on his face. "Sally, I warned you. You not only delayed with that woman, but also gave away the goods. Are we running a charity?" he asked strictly. He was not interested in explanations. "I will deduct the cost of the pressure gauge from your salary," he said. Sally wanted to respond, but he interrupted. "Pack your things! You're fired!" he declared in a calm and resolute voice. Sally was stunned. A wave of emotions overwhelmed her. She followed her heart, helped someone in need, and now was left without a job. Was it worth doing the right thing if it meant getting fired? However, the story took an unexpected turn. 30 minutes after the dismissal, Mr. Peters arrived, looking puzzled. "Where is Sally?" he asked, looking around the diner. Mark, with a visible, he proudly informed his uncle that he had just fired her. Mr. Peters's face turned pale with anxiety. Mark continued to explain that Sally was ineffective and unprofessional. Suddenly, the phone rang in the diner. A young waitress, embarrassed, interrupted the conversation. The woman on the other end said she was your friend and wanted to speak urgently. Mr. Peters took the receiver, his face changing from confusion to surprise. After hearing the caller, he hung up with clear disapproval. "That was my wife," Mr. Peters said in a steely tone. "She was just talking to that elderly woman you rejected." Apparently, Sally was a model of kindness, the kind of service that makes this diner special. You fired her for doing her job right. "It seems you don't understand the spirit of this place," Mr. Peters said, his voice full of disappointment. "Unfortunately, Mark, I was wrong to trust you." Without hesitation, he picked up the phone again and called the recently fired Sally, asking her to come back. When she arrived, she was in for a stunning surprise. Mr. Peters began speaking with sincerity on his face. "My nephew Mark no longer works here. I need someone to replace him. Would you consider managing this cafe?" Sally was stunned, tears welling up in her eyes. She could hardly believe such an unexpected turn of events and the offer made to her. After being treated unfairly, she was now being offered to manage the place she loved so much. Her voice trembled with emotion as she replied, "Mr. Peters, it is an honor for me." Sally's genuine kindness was a breath of fresh air. Her act of kindness towards an elderly woman, though it cost her her job, opened a door she had never dreamed of. It was a powerful reminder. Even if good deeds go unnoticed, their impact can appear unexpectedly and widely, like ripples on water. Sally realized that running the cafe was not just about efficiency and profit, but about creating a place where weary travelers could find hot food, support, and a sense of community. It was a legacy she was determined to preserve and honor. In the following weeks, the cafe began to change, becoming better and warmer for all visitors. Touchscreens were removed, replaced by the warmth of handwritten menus. Sally took the time to learn the names of the truck drivers and their usual orders. She asked about the long journeys they had just completed or were about to start. The bulletin board behind the counter was once again filled with photos and notes from travelers seeking help or offering rides. Sometimes you could even find truckers' poems there. Old methods turn out to be the best, and true profit is miles of kindness. This story is about how simple, sincere acts create miles of kindness. If you liked it, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. Write one word in the comments about how this story made you feel. While you're here, watch the video on the screen. See you. Next time will be better, We will definitely prepare and do everything according to plan to succeed and avoid past mistakes.